Hello, beautiful viewer. Many thanks to you for having joined us on yet another edition on Aneke Television, the platform where we meet to take on burning topical issues and matters which face us as a people in society. Yes, of course, it is designed that we be able to engender a better society because here we host analysts, we host guests, and resource persons who come to offer their thoughts and their opinions on these issues and matters, hoping that you will remain our wonderful companion. My name is Chris Anibogu. Thank you for joining us today. And on today's edition, we have Chief Daniel Ukwu, who is the leader, the founder of the Daniel Ukwu Leadership Foundation, with us in the studio today. Chief, we must say welcome to Aneke Television.
Well, Chris, thank you, but you know I'm not a chief. If you call me a chief, fine.
You are my own chief.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
God
that's
bless
right.
you.
All right, so today on the show, what are we looking at? We want to look at the politics of coalition, all geared towards 2027 elections in Nigeria, issues and matters. So sit back as the program runs. Chief, I wouldn't know which it will be for you now. We've seen over time, looking at our political history, we've seen where political parties, politicians, in the course of trying to maneuver the system, decides to go into merger and coalition. We've seen where the APC emerged from the coalition between the All Nigerian People's Party (NPP), championed by late Ogboniono, as well as the CPC of former President Muhammadu Buhari, and then the former political party, the ACN, led by the current president Bola Ahmed Tinubu, coming into measures to form coalition to unseat the former ruling party, the People's Democratic Party, and then we have the APC. Right now, there is another move, there is another force to form another merger coalition so as to unseat the current APC government in Nigeria. I don't know. How do you see this politics of coalition, merger, from time to time within our political circle? How do you see it, sir, as an elder statesman?
When you talk about coalition, I think it's one of the political game. But at times you discover that the coalition is also needful. Because what is about this coalition you're talking about? You're talking about a group of people maybe who have different opinion and who maybe feel
and
that
possibly interest.
Different opinion and
Possibly
different interests, and then there are so many things that also makes that can guarantee or warrant people. It just maybe the way you are doing something is not the way they wanted it or they wanted a change. But they found out that I think right now we need that coalition because they found out that one thing about Nigeria, they found out that history continues to repeat itself. Each administration that comes, you find out that, I don't know whether it's praise singing or whatever, we tend to, every person drifting to one party system because, why we're still having a big problem in this part of the world that our politics has not come, is position driven. Why you are there, people tend to acknowledge you. People tend to acknowledge. It's just because of that seat. It's just like we are talking here now. No, people who have not come. You find out that leadership is at various levels, but you find out that we are still at that primary level, whereby while you're on seat, everybody is praising you. Everybody, during Abacha we had such like what is happening now. What tend to be one party system. Every person now decamping to APC because they believe that whether you like it or not, that the result has been written. 2027. We are talking of 2027, and some people are saying that the result has been written. And then you find out that people have come to a situation where they don't. Where I will say that some of them are ungrateful to God.
How?
Because if God has given you an opportunity to serve, and then you now, while you are sitting there now, Instead of relying on the same God that has given you opportunity, you are now believing that you can manipulate and do. Some people can do it and get away, but some people cannot. Because I believe that service is something you render to people, and it's not how long that matters. You find out that if you look at have you asked yourself why Mandela is outstanding in the whole Africa or in the whole world as one of the African leaders? Because he had that opportunity to serve one tenure, and after one tenure he said okay. But here we are driven by greed, we are driven by whatever means. So you want to sit and then finish your 8 years. You see, that's why we are still having problems. We will not say somebody that after 4 years, I'm done. If they re-elect me, because one thing about this re-election, you find out that towards re-election, people are giving condition, it's just like you find out that Tinubu now, it's just like if you have been following what happened in Rivers State, you find out that it's just because of this second tenure. And that's why what is happening in Rivers State is happening. But you see, leadership, you are given an opportunity. Why not at the end of, if people want you to re-elect you, but you find out that here is not the case. They are trying to do one funny thing, trying to maneuver, even if possible maneuver God so that they can have their will.
Is it because of politics of second tenure? Is that why there should be coalition against whoever is there, whether he's doing well or not? Is it just because people do not want whoever is in charge to continue?
It's second tenure now, and maybe people felt that
because we're looking at coalition,
and people were looking that he has not done well. But you yourself should also ask yourself whether he has done well to continue. Because if I have opportunity, I don't know. I think I also because you see, you find out that if you are given opportunity, you now say whether if the person it's just like you send somebody to school. This leadership is either you pass or you fail. But here we want somebody who has failed to continue. Do you understand me?
We're listening.
If you have passed, then everybody will join hand and say, okay, he has done well, he has. But if somebody has failed, I'm using that exam, and then you want to, it's like it's not possible now. Because the life of people at risk, you continue. And then it's just like you find out that when it's just like the way you narrated how APC
came on board.
Maybe then they were now complaining that PDP did this, the PDP did that, and then they came, and every person was hungry for change. But the change now came. Whether it actually brought, one thing about some of this campaign is either you are talking about being positive or you are talking about being negative. So now after these 2 years, people are now clamoring for, yes, there need to be change, and then there need to be new, and then we can't continue like from now till 2031. That will be the end. So people are forming to say that yes, we need a change. And
but if I should ask you a direct question, you are another statesman. You are a champion of good leadership.
Yes.
2 years now gone under Bola Ahmed Tinubu's regime. How would you describe these past 2 years? Is it okay for you?
Well,
are you comfortable with it?
No. I won't say I will, because if you there is always parameters to measure performance, and then you ask yourself, is the people welfare, are they better off? Is this idea of removing fuel subsidy, and they found out that it had affected virtually everything, and they found out that is those that the downtrodden, there's people that are paying the price, because this removal of fuel subsidy, me and you are paying the price, because cost of everything has gone up. Even cost of for me it's a double tragedy. They found out that floating a currency, and they found out that all those policies, I don't think to a common man that they are fair. They are not fair.
So for you, it's not been It's not been nice. It's not been wonderful. You're not comfortable with the past 2 years now.
It's my own opinion, though. I don't know. People will have
no. It's your opinion. That's why you're here,
yes,
sir.
Yes.
All right. So, and for you, does that justify the reason for coalition by politicians to unseat the current president?
Well, yes. Now it's part of it, because when people are not comfortable with what is going on, people will clamor for change. You know, people that started the change that APC brought APC into power, they have started also clamoring for a change that also, if we can have another leadership on board, because when things are not going well, and they find out that talk about this insecurity, talk about so many parameters, they find out that it's not being positive.
All right. Okay, we'll return to Chief Daniel Ukwu in the part 2 of our discussion with him. But now, we want to go on a very quick break. Dear viewer, marking the end of part 1 of this analysis. Remember, we're taking a look at the coalition and merger for 2027. We shall be back in part 2. Stay with us. So, Daniel Ukwu, good to return with you to the show.
Thank
now,
you.
let's talk specifics now. The current coalition force for 2027. We're going to be looking at the principals, the major actors, the men behind the scene. And what could be their motive? Is it for the interests of Nigerians? Or is it still business as usual, the selfish interests of politicians seeking just to grab power? Because now we are complaining of APC. But we know that Nigerians applauded APC when they came on board with the mantra change. We've seen the government of Muhammadu Buhari for 8 years. Nigerians said they didn't see the change they clamored for. Now Tinubu is on board and have done 2 years. And I think, according to you, that he's not done so well for the past 2 years for the people of this country. So they clamor for another coalition force to come on board. Let's look at the actors now. The likes of former Vice President of Nigeria, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, is a frontliner. We have the likes of the former governor of Kaduna State, El-Rufai. We have the likes of former governor of Rivers State, who also served during the last administration as Minister for Transport, talking about Rotimi Chibike and Meiji. These are the major frontliners of this coalition. We'll talk about the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and see where he stands in the whole equation. But let's look at these actors and players of the game. Do you see these personalities being able to come together, keeping their various interests apart, to say, okay, yes, let this coalition be established? Will it work?
Well, if you have followed Nigeria history from inception, you find out that one of the greatest problem we have, that most of them is after their personal interests. Most of them are not even they're after their personal interests, because in life there's what is called personal interest and there's what is called national interest. When you talk about personal interest, you are looking at your person, you want to become whatever. If they didn't give you an opportunity to become their leader, nothing happens. So you are not taking a second position. But when you talk about national interest, we are now looking among those people that is coming, among them, who is better or who can deliver. Because you see, leadership is just like I tell people that leadership is not, you don't gamble with leadership. Leadership is principle driven. If you do the right thing, you get the right result. And then also the capacity as a leader also matters. Because one thing about leadership that you find out that when some people are in that leadership position, it's like some people they are occupying the position quite okay, but you find out that somebody behind the scene is dictating what they will do. It's just like what they said, that it's either you act or somebody acts on will be acting for you. Because okay, let's use as a driver. Let's say you are going somewhere now, because you must know where you are going and you must have the destination where you are going. But you know, while in that process, you can just pick somebody, and before somebody, you now say, okay, why not take here? Why not take there? Meanwhile, in your mind, though, it's not your mind to take those whatever, but it can divert your attention. So that is exactly what leadership. So if you don't know where you're going, and if you don't have that big picture, because as a leader, you must have the big picture. You must have painted a picture of Nigeria that in the next 2 years, in the next 4 years, this is what is like. You know, leadership is like this architect. By the time they draw up their building plan and every other thing, you when you see it, but the people that doing the drawing knows what exactly what that's the expectation. So leadership is like that. But you find out that in most cases, some of them don't even, they will look at the drawing and they'll be doing another thing. They will look at the direction. Somebody will now come and be directing her. And that's why, because at the end of the day, we now say that everything rises and falls on the leadership. It's just like as Tinubu is now, our President Tinubu. Everything now, whether the son is the one that is directing him. I don't know whether you watch when they went to see that how the son is dragging him.
And they went for the inauguration of the Pope?
Yes, okay. And the son. So don't be surprised as he's dragging him, that he's also trying to drag his decision. You know, leadership is either you take a decision or somebody takes a decision.
All right, so now we are done with that, and you have said it justifies the reason for the coalition because he's not providing the expected leadership.
Yes.
But now I want us to look at the actors, the players, the principals behind this coalition.
Yeah.
The likes of Atiku Abubakar, the likes of El-Rufai, the likes of Rotimi Chibika and Meji. And then before we come to the angle of Mr. Peter Obi, do you see these personalities, these politicians, as being able to come together on a round table to say, okay, let's align our interests for 2027? Do you see this coalition working? Is it going to work?
Well, I wouldn't say whether it will
considering
work.
The actors.
We wouldn't say whether it will work or it will not work. But the only way it can work effectively that some people have to subpedal their personal interests.
When you say some people, can we be particular? Looking at the players on the table.
You know, there are things I will not like to say.
We need to be explicit. For instance, okay, maybe let me just help you out here.
Yeah.
For instance, we understand the interests of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar.
Yes, it has been.
Over the years, he's wanting to be the president of Nigeria.
Yes.
But then, Daniel Ukwu, you know that there is this gentleman understanding between the North and the South. The North has taken their turn 8 years under Buhari. Now it's the turn of the South. And Tinubu is from the South. So if he's done one tenure, it's expected that the position should be retained in the South. In the South. Either Tinubu continues for another tenure, or another Southerner comes to complete the remaining tenure. But for the man called Elijah Atiku Abubakar, do you see him as a man who's going to accept the South to take another turn? Or do you think he's going to impose his interest on this coalition actors to say, allow me go to the presidency rather?
Well, when you look at the game that is going on, you find out that he has been. That's why he now subpedal say after 4 years, maybe after 4 years, then somebody else can now go. But that's a game. You are not talking to. So what we are trying to say, they are not, for that coalition to work, they have to pick. There are some people, when they come on board, people will follow them naturally. But there are some people, when they come on board, well, there will be, instead of going for this person, let's, just like they say, moving from frying pan to fire. Do you understand? But the issue that if they can, and I wish they can, because I don't see Atiku being an alternative. He doesn't have that capacity.
So if his interest is going to run at the tops, you are saying the coalition not working?
I see it as a complete failure.
All right, let's now bring in the player, El-Rufai, on the table, the former governor of Kaduna State. He has just come from the APC and gone to the SDP, where he seems he wants to launch his attack. What do you think will be the interest of somebody like El-Rufai? Is he just fighting back because Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not allow him to be part of his government?
That might be part of it, and then that might be part of it, and then you find out that he may not have that. We are talking about the coalition.
Coalition, yeah, that's right.
Working out. Well, like there are 4 of them, and 4 of them cannot become presidential candidates, except there's no way they and the issue now. One thing about this, it's not a must that all of them must have be given must have that political office. They can work from the background. If find out that after when Buhari came on board, Tinubu was behind, pushing Buhari, according to what we later now. And then when Buhari now went and succeed, then Tinubu now came on board. So some people have to go to background and then maybe push somebody, because it's not going to be an easy.
All right. So between Atiku and El-Rufai from the north, who would you prefer to go to the background?
No, we're not talking about the north. Not again.
Okay, for you, not for now.
Not for now.
So let's come south. So Rotimi Amaechi is a major player at the front. Then let's bring in Mr. Peter Obi to the picture. He was in the race in 2023 for the presidency. He lost out to Tinubu under the Labour Party. So this time around, do you see Peter Obi aligning his interests with this coalition force?
Well, I think he's trying to find his way, but if they can give him chance, because if you watch his analysis the other time, he was talking about how North is the greatest asset and how you can. He found out that, for me, I think he has what it takes to transform this country to a better. But the issue now, whether
can he do it alone?
No, he can't do it alone. Now, it's a coalition now.
So now they are talking about coalition. So do you see his personality fitting into the picture, considering these personalities that we just mentioned? Atiku Abubakar, Rotimi Amaechi,
that what I said. That what I said. If they want that coalition, because for you to fight a strong man and pull him down, and not only that, it's not just Tinubu as a person. He has got so many people. He has given appointments. He has given this, and that's why. And then they were talking about his mandate, and then all the rest of it. And then why I'm talking about this, somebody like the former governor of Rivers State cannot be watching you, and then because most of them believe that their job.
When you say former governor of Rivers State, you're talking about Nyesom Wike.
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, that some of them are believe that their job is at stake, so they also do everything to see that that coalition is a
failure.
Does not work. So, and when somebody wants you to fail, and then except you want to fail yourself, because they must take the right decision. They must take the right decision. Otherwise, if they don't take the right decision, then they will just form the coalition. After some time, it will.
All right, so we want to round up the show, but before we round this show up, Chief Daniel Ukwu, I want us to leave the viewer with this permutation. Do you see an Atiku Abubakar for president, Rotimi Amechi vice president? And do you see a Peter Obi for president and El-Rufai for vice president? Which of these two do you think will work for 2027, considering the coalition?
Well, if you ask me, I will pick the second option,
Which is the Peter Obi for president and El-Rufai for vice president.
Yes.
All right. On that note, we want to appreciate you for coming to the show today, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you immensely for coming. And we look forward to having you more on Aneke television, where you come to share your wealth of experience with all of us, sir.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure, and then I'm happy to be here. This is a good place.
All right, so dear viewer, I told you he's Chief Daniel Ukwu, even though he said he's not the chief yet, but then I decided to give him the title. He is the founder of the Daniel Ukwu Leadership Foundation. Until come your way again, we keep watching as the political game unfolds for 2027. My name is Chris Aniwogu, asking you to keep watching Aneke television. Bye for now.